Welcome to the Elements of Spirit readings for the week of June 5th, 2017. This is the reading for fire, which includes the sun signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I found out my grandfather was a Sagittarius. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, I guess I knew that. I knew his birthday, but I'm in Michigan visiting my family right now, and my aunt told me, he was like, she was like, oh, Papu was a Sagittarius. It makes sense. He was such a love bug and had such stars in his eyes. So, love you, Saggies. Okay, so this is the reading for fire. If you haven't listened to your ether reading, go back and check that out. Now, the ether affirmation was fun this week. It's all about staying fresh, staying clear. I allow spirit to make space in my experience now for meaning, for new experiences. Whatever's going on, you don't actually have to deal with it. You can clear it, and if you really have to deal with it, it will come back to you. We see this a lot in relationships when people are banging their heads up against the wall of a relationship, and they're like, oh, what if no one ever loves me like this again? But really, karmically, the question would be like, oh, what if no one ever tortures me like this again, or presents this, what if no one ever presents this opportunity to work on my shit this way again? The theory would be, you can clear it out. You can start over. And the next person who comes along, the next relationship you have, is most likely going to contain some of those same karmic lessons from the first or the previous relationship. Weirdly enough, I don't think this is going in the direction of relationships, but I offer you that in service. Let's see what the reading for fire does. Oh no, I lied. Interesting. So yeah, totally wrong. This is completely about relationships. Love this. Look at that. Aww. Hearts on fire. Let's make it fiery. Hearts on fire. Ooh, it's a flaming heart. Oh, flaming heart. Hearts on fire. Guess what it says? My primary relationship is with myself. My primary relationship is with myself. That's the meaning today. So, the sense I get is that you as fiery beings, right, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, a lot of independence in fire. Fire, water can temper it, but like fire can also turn water into steam, right? Like fire is pretty intense. It can galvanize things, it can destroy things, it consumes things, it uses fuel, it transforms like everything. So in this case, my sense is that you guys are all working with a lot of independence in the last couple of weeks and really sort of, rocket shipping forward and, moving with momentum. I would imagine that your fiery nature in the season of Gemini is what? Oxygen feeds fire, right? Air feeds fire, air stokes flames, it's part of the fuel. So I would imagine things have been pretty intense, maybe even a little breakneck the last week or two, couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, week or two. Thing is, you're not actually just blasting forward. You're blasting forward with some kind of intent, driven, ambitious, motivated. I want to accomplish something, right? My will wants to accomplish something. Doesn't happen in a vacuum. Cannot happen by yourself. Needs to happen with other people. So I do think there is relationship negotiation going on here. How do these other people around me factor into my goals and drive and accomplishment? Well, my sense is you don't really like having to factor in other people into your goals and plans and accomplishments. You might like them to watch you blaze. You might like them to be around. But I want to also honor that it feels like you are processing the sort of very necessary evil of needing other people, needing a team, or needing support, or needing a trusted advisor, or a friend, a lover, a confidant, whatever that is. And what I would say is that there's resistance around that kind of connection, and that it's kind of backing up and maybe even causing you to lose track of what you're doing in the first place. Maybe, you know, the fire and the rocket ship is just making you move really fast and you don't really remember what you're doing. So what this says is my primary relationship is with myself. Don't worry about how other people feel about your goals, dreams, ambitions. Recognize that if you are maintaining fidelity to yourself, maintaining fidelity to yourself, those around you are going to know where you stand, right? It's interesting. So it's almost like you can't forget that you need support, people, community, relationships around you, but the resistance is being built up because I feel like you'd rather not have to deal with them. So the sort of secret key here is deal with yourself, honor yourself, maintain your primary relationship with yourself, and then you won't have so much resistance to them. They will know where you stand, and if they want to support you or if you want to ask for support, you can ask for it. Affirmation. This sort of ties it together. I maintain fidelity to my values through communicating my priorities. So it's weird. It's almost like you have to pierce the membrane around your heart, but not just by doing what you're going to do. It's like, I have to honor this primary relationship with myself. What am I actually trying to accomplish here? Do I just want to get ahead? Do I want to make money? Do I want to build something? Do I want to create something? Do I want to transcend something? Do I want to move past something? Do I want to take something to the next level? None of this stuff can happen in a vacuum. So if you don't communicate your values, if you don't communicate your priorities, right? Through your values, based on your values, right? If you don't inquire into your values so that you can communicate your priorities, you're going to be keeping your MO, you're going to be keeping your roadmap, you're going to be keeping your goals, your dreams kind of unnecessarily protected. So the idea here is you don't really have to deal with the people. You don't have to figure out how to work with the people around you. But if you don't try to communicate your priorities to them, then they're not going to know what's going on. And there's going to continue to be that kind of friction between, well, I can't do this by myself, but I don't really want to deal with you people. I'd rather just blaze through and do everything myself. This is sort of like, fine, start with yourself. Articulate and identify, what am I doing? Why does it matter to me? What is the highest priority that I have at this time, or what are the top 3 priorities that I have at this time? What are my goals? What are my dreams? What am I trying to accomplish? And then communicate your priorities in order to maintain fidelity to yourself. So it's like, you don't just do it by staying in the vacuum. You articulate your values, your priorities, and then you do your best to communicate them in order to make them manifest and accomplish, you know, what you're trying to do in the world. Okay? I maintain fidelity to my values through communicating my priorities. That is the fire reading. All my love to you. I'll see you next week.